It's 4.5, and we're finally here to bring you the patch notes this week. We're going to be seeing Celestial Voyage is the name of the patch. Joining me on the desk is going to be Chuck from the art team, Tina from wherever Tina comes from, nobody really knows, and AJ from the design team as well. Tina's just here for moral support more than anything. Voice
True
packs,
story.
right?
Design team.
Yeah, design team, bro.
Come on.
I mean, you want to claim her? Is that what you're willing to do?
Design Tina.
definitely.
I was trying to keep her separate in case you wanted to keep her separate.
No, it falls on me as well.
Well, let's get straight into skins this week. Quite a few skins to bring you, so we'll start things off. Over with Star Lancer Anher is going to be our first skin to have a little look at today. The card art will be coming up momentarily. And a lot of these things have the same theme, as you can tell, as we'll go through the patch later on. The stars have started to align here. But my oh my, doesn't he look magical?
Oh,
and
yeah.
technological at the same time.
Bit of both.
This is our theme for this particular event.
Yes.
The Celestial Voyagers theme.
So it's all to do with like very similar to the Stargazer Anubis sort of style. Is that what it's kind of after here, Chuck?
Yeah, so we had Stargazer Anubis and
Sunstar.
Sunstar Ra, yeah. And we liked that theme so much, and everybody really enjoyed those skins, so we thought it would be awesome to make an event around making more Egyptian gods have the star magic technology theme.
Mm-hmm.
He looks awesome in game from that one. The main thing is, how does Anher's autos look? And they look good. Because that's always the tricky thing with Anher, is a lot of people have this thing with Anher where it's always based on his auto attacks. That's why the Olympic skin is one of their favorites still.
Because it's very precise in
Exactly.
its
But
speariness.
these
are
are
very
pretty
nice.
precise as well, so that's a good thing. Obviously, they've all got different abilities, I believe, and a voice pack as well, so we'll go through
Oh, yeah.
and see them all.
This waterfall shall engulf you.
Ooh, that looks cool.
I like the electric effect.
Waterfall shall engulf you.
Space technology.
Chuck is well known for his robot voice.
That's true. That's true. It
You
gets
should
out
have
of
voiced this.
awkward
really-
situations.
It's
Did you
really
do the voice
solid.
packs for this, Tina? Were you involved in the
yes.
voice packs of this one?
Just this one, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it did.
I love when we use that hex pattern on the ground. That looks really cool.
He's got that sweet targeting
That is really cool, actually, how it
device
does
that
that.
he pumps his shots through.
Yeah, dude.
Pawn busting out those hot plays, impaling people out of the air. Looking like Zap over here.
And I guess we should listen to the voice pack as well, please, Pompon, if you've got it.
Yeah.
Yes! I am impressed. Astonishing. Hear me roar. Silence. Come say that to my face. Is that all you got? Humor me with your skills. What did the aliens say to the cat? Take me to your litter. Stupid. Why did the lion...
Don't look at me like that!
Did On Her mutter that was stupid
Yeah.
as part of the line?
Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
he
nice.
mutters that it's stupid, part of the
did he?
line. Yeah, he's
that's
like,
good.
that is stupid.
Okay, that's better. That's
Yeah.
better. Good job, team.
We're
I
aware
like
of it.
the sweet space god distortion applied there.
Oh, do the jump again. Do the jump. He's got a little jetpack effect.
He does?
Yeah, look at
Oh,
him.
yeah.
Little thruster.
I don't even... What the... Where?
There it goes. You can see it good
On
from
the
that
back.
angle.
Oh, I
backpack.
see. Okay, okay, okay,
His
okay,
little
okay,
backpack.
okay. Yeah, yeah.
Well, that's the first
pretty sweet.
of these star-themed skins. That's the Anher one.
Oh,
Next
we got
on
a
the
whole
list
mess of them.
Yeah,
is
dude.
Star
Whole mess of 'em.
Tamer Bastet is the next one that's going to be available. And there she is. Oh my god, those cats look amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, the
We've been getting
RoboCats
a lot of
are
requests
awesome.
for best stat skins, so this one turned out really well.
Yeah, the card art looks fantastic with that one as well.
All right,
Her
I'm moving
breasts
the
look
mic
great.
away from my nose, kids. It's cool.
Oh, you
Sorry.
reading
Yeah.
chat? You
Is
reading
that
chat,
was
Chuck?
you?
That was me.
Your mouth breathing?
Breathing into the mic. It's hard. They're right by our
It's
faces.
a
What are we supposed to
technology
do? Not
problem.
breathe?
It's not my face. It's just a thing that's happening.
It could be your face.
Well, here's
It could
a
be
little...
your face.
Yeah, that might be true. That's true. That's probably true.
I like it. We're just setting sides for a second. I do like the whip on this skin. Honestly, I think the blue of it is nice.
The laser whip. Oh, the laser whip
Yeah.
looks really awesome in
I'm looking forward to seeing the
contest.
abilities as well. So.
I really like that all the skins have the same coloring and effects.
It's because they're all part of the same
Yeah.
theme, Tina.
It's
Yeah,
not
I
entirely
know,
the
you
same,
shit
but
lord.
Yeah,
I was trying to teach you.
you already dropped
I
in.
was trying to teach you. Listen, you get, as a heads up, you get one with me. You call me a shitlord, and that's okay. But the next one, I'll put you down. Okay? Okay, I'll put you to bed, and it'll be over. Okay?
Yeah, I like the color scheme on this one a lot. You know, on her is a little more bronze, gold. She's a little bit darker. She's got that like under layer, and then a little bit like brighter metal.
They're all based around the core metals, though. We tried to have as much variety within that theme as we could,
Okay.
while still maintaining unification.
Of course. I like that projectile a lot.
Yeah, and
it's
the
really
head is really
reads
cool,
really
too.
clearly,
Yeah.
which is nice.
Sarah did a lot of awesome color shifting on these
show me
skin
the
effects,
kicks.
and that
Robocats.
stuff is hard.
Ooh, that's-
yeah, RoboCats.
Oh, man.
Get mauled.
Oh no, Pawn. Pawn's gonna crash the game with so many
Jesus.
RoboCats.
Pon showing the buff to Bastet
Wait,
before
I
we even
wanna
get to the
listen
bound section.
Oh,
to
yeah.
the RoboCats.
Oh, I thought they were gonna be like.
Oh, they all died at once. That was sad.
Rip RoboCats.
Yeah.
Wow, I'm glad we listened to that, Tina.
You will not be missed.
Man,
Space
that
Cats.
laser whip is so cool.
Yeah, do some more basics, yeah. Oh yeah.
And obviously, it comes with a voice pack too, so let's go with a voice pack as well.
Amazing. You're my favorite. Marvelous. I am your goddess. All I can do for you is to make this quick. But I also accept your destruction. After a grueling spaceflight, I like to unwind with some gravity.
You should like that
I
one, Hindu.
regret
Yeah.
this had to happen.
That was good, because I'm English and we like tea.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so funny on the desk today, boys and girls. Ooh. Oh, the banter's real. I'm feeling it. Well, that's the Bastet skin. Next up is another star skin. This is Star Eater Capri.
Nom nom nom.
Yes.
Yeah,
Look at that card, though.
I love this card
Yeah,
so
the
Yo,
card
much.
is
that card's
awesome.
amazing.
I love the Egyptians like praying to him.
No, they're just begging for lives. That's what they're trying to do.
I
here.
like his
Please
back
don't kill
portal.
us.
Well, when your god shows up and then he also happens to be from space, like that's a lot of
Yeah,
things
he's
Yeah.
at
space.
once.
That
Like,
blows your mind straight away.
there's a lot of
Please do
lore
not
actual.
star eat us.
There's
Look
some
at
lore background with all these gods. You'll find out later.
Yeah.
I know there was some talk about Capri already having a technological skin, but this skin is awesome. I'm just saying. Look at the wings. Do the jump, Pawn. Do the jump.
So your defense
he
to
can't
it
while
looking
he's in
similar
camera-
is
camera
it
Oh,
looks
mode.
yeah, he's roving right
Yeah,
now.
but he will.
Look at that sweet portal built into his torso.
We see him roving. They hate it. Oh, look at those wings.
Yeah, this one turned out really great
It's
too.
awesome.
I love this one. So he's got a mech skin, but this one's very different theme. You know, he's a lot lighter colors.
And when we committed to this theme, we just had to do Capri because there was just no way it wasn't going to be cool.
And he's
so,
Egyptian, so that also helps, right?
That is part of it.
yes, you know.
If you've not seen the theme just yet, I just thought I'd help
Yes,
you out.
yes,
All
that
the
is a
Egyptian
core
gods.
component of the theme.
Be Egyptian.
Is it's Egyptian? Yeah.
Egyptian
Good
gods.
I'm impressed you didn't call him a shitlord.
So that was the abduct.
We're trying not to just totally have Hindu actually blow a gasket today.
I'm not going to
Come
blow a
on.
gasket. It's not going to happen.
Tina, you're the only one who's allowed to say
Tina's
that
just
word.
got a very dirty potty mouth.
The
That's
rest
what
of
the
us
problem
have
is.
to use normal.
I'm pretty sure if a mother heard her speak like that, she'd get a good spanking. I'm just saying. Have a think about that one.
Oh, nice.
Now, how are we going to show the ultimate off? You're going to have to spawn a new bot now, Pong.
You can ult yourself.
See? That's
See?
true. It works. Okay, fair play.
I mean,
man,
you
that's a
probably
sweet-
shouldn't.
Good Capris do not ult
Geosphere.
themselves.
Yeah,
Like, they should never be in that position.
Generally,
they need to.
that does not work out well for you, but
It's good to die 3 seconds later than you
it's-
were
it's
originally
fun,
going
right?
to die.
Yeah.
Wait, what is that? Mark? Oh, never mind. Okay.
It's the indicator.
Yeah.
It's got a time
I just wanted to
indicator.
see what the. Oh, I see. Okay.
It's
The
the same
symbol
symbol that's on the
on his
back of
back.
his shell.
I
I
see
do
it now.
really like that symbol, how it grows from the center outwards to show how long it's going to last. That's
Yeah.
actually really clear. It's nice.
Yeah, all his skins have some sort of time-based element in there.
That one's really clear, though. Some are clearer than others, and that's definitely one of the clearer ones.
I
I've
like
seen
that
it for
one.
sure.
Oh, you can buff your allies too, yeah.
Yeah, buffs for allies. Looks good. And now the voice pack as well, please, Pom Pom. We've got more to do.
I hope he's a nice guy. Sounds nice.
Well done. Impressive.
Oh,
He's pretty nice.
Yeah.
I create wonders.
Yeah. See.
Silence. Back on my planet, they call me the Destroyer of Worlds. Swords and bows. How primitive. Signs of primitive society. Selfishness, ego, and constant mating. The atmosphere must be thinner here on Earth. Everyone seems so thick.
Yeah.
I see you laughing.
Okay.
You got thick in a voice pack though, so
And
Twitch
you-
chat should
and you've
like
got
that.
a constant mating reference.
Yes.
So, you know.
Win-win.
Win-win,
In two
you
ways.
guys.
Well, the next skin up is another star skin, would you believe? It's Star Strike Neath.
Oh, yeah.
My
Nice.
card is
Look at that.
amazing.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, I'm here for business.
Like she's coming out of a portal as well.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of cool. Or is it like a different dimension? Is that what she's coming out of?
You have to read the event lore.
Yeah, the event
Maybe I
lore
should
covers
try
this,
to
do
this
that.
Egyptian
I think
portal
it's a
traveling.
spice shop.
I will.
During your ranked queue, you can
Okay.
share your stream story time and read through the event lore.
I get time to stream. It's SPL every day.
You stream all the time.
I wish. But there's a little look at the card art. We can go into game for this as well now. And you could all be excited for all you Neath players out there for a nice new Neath skin to add to your list. So tell me a little bit about this, Chuck. That's your job at this part. Just so you know, these silent moments are kind
sorry.
of like, you are the artist,
that was
right?
that was my bad.
So it's
Yeah.
kind of on you to like lead us through.
This
you know?
the skin looks good. I was just looking at it again. So Ben just completed the face changes that we were talking about, and they look nice.
I really like that we gave her clothes.
Some.
She is, yeah. She's got a
No,
skin
she's pretty
suit.
full.
She's got a high tech
She's
skin
got
suit.
a little
going on.
opening here, but besides that, it's pretty delicious.
Close enough.
Was that a stutter, or were you actually trying to be funny?
I think she was just at a loss for the right
Yeah,
word.
Yeah.
I was trying to think of the right word to.
Don't try and be funny, Tina. It doesn't become of you.
I am sorry.
It's okay.
You never should have called him a shitlord.
Yeah,
That was a
I know.
bad
It's
move.
okay. I'll take it. I'll take it.
No teacher.
I like the
Oh, man.
swirly spiral
Yeah.
out there.
Oh, the unravel looks good too. And it's the hexes, just like the Anher leap as well.
Yes,
very
the
similar.
hexes were a secondary theme. You'll see that that's present in a lot of these star skins.
I like her basic attacks a lot.
The laser
They look so sharp.
arrow.
Boom.
And the world.
This is my favorite part, though.
Oh,
Look at
shit.
that.
Nice.
Yeah,
Okay, that is cool.
it's
Yeah.
She's
super
like-
cool.
In space.
That is. I didn't even know this existed. It just blew my mind. This is
Nobody-
amazing.
Yeah.
Yes, it's nice.
Yeah, when I first saw Edward doing that, I was like, what?
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
that's
cool.
so awesome.
I love the depth that you feel
How
with
did
it
he
too.
do? Is it just the? Is it just the?
We call this effect the Zir sphere.
the
Oh,
zero?
Scott had like 3 gods in a row where we had to put big spheres around stuff during different modes, so we call it the Zir sphere.
I think we need more smears. I'm gonna keep that in mind. More spheres.
That is really cool. Yeah.
Yeah, it turned out really awesome.
Spheres for dates. And then obviously Neath has a voice pack as well, so let's get on to it.
Thanks. Woohoo! Great work. Fascinating. Great work. I've still got it. Mercy is my strong suit, but don't test me. Don't test my patience. So you've only known this one star for your entire life? Cute. What you heard about the pyramids being created by an advanced alien civilization, yeah, it was all us.
Thank you, Pom Pom.
Nice.
There's a really interesting fact about this. The actress who voiced this, actually, she also voiced Sarah Ryder in the new Mass Effect.
Oh, really?
Yeah, same actress.
We've
So-
been getting some great actors and
Just
actresses lately.
Throwing it out there, boys and girls.
Yeah, that's great.
Deep.
Well, we've still got one more skin to bring you, at least, and that's going to be the next Star one, the final of the Star series. For now, Star Scribe Toth is going to be available in the next patch as well. And we should be able to see the card art in a moment or two when they've got that
This
ready.
is the one I spoiled, so you could see this card
Yeah, you
art a
spoiled
little
this.
early.
Why
but,
do you always have to
know,
spoil stuff, huh?
That's it's fun.
Huh?
It's fun for me. It's fun for them. It's fun for everybody.
Yeah, this was my other must-have in the Egyptian technospace skins was Thoth, because
I mean, because we've already got one similar with Ra already, right?
Yeah.
Ra's already got sort of feels of
well,
this.
kind
so-
of the concept of Thoth really, encapsulates this idea. He's kind of like a god of wisdom and knowledge.
I
so-
like that he walks in the hexes too. I think that's actually really cool.
Oh, it
seeing
looks
the
super
hex at the
cool when
bottom.
you're moving. Yeah.
Yeah, that looks actually really cool because it actually feels into what Toth is. Because the fact his animation is slightly different than other gods because he walks a lot slower but it's still at the same speed. It does look really good with that.
Yeah. It turned out
Oh,
cool.
yeah, really nice. I love the color scheme on this one too.
Yeah.
The orange.
He has a
globes
lot
of all
more
of that.
orange. Yeah.
What was that horse?
Did you hear a horse?
I heard horse.
Maybe.
Was it just me?
I don't know.
You heard Horus.
Horse.
New god confirmed.
Oh God.
You leaking stuff on the patch again, AJ?
Chorus,
Like, what's
it's
this
a
about?
skin for Ra.
Yeah, right.
No drama. Assault and Punish for you guys at home if you don't know what that ability is
Evade.
called. Also called Ridiculous Stun, I'm out of jail.
Come on.
Yeah,
indie
I'm
man.
sorry. I can't help it, AJ. I'm one with the community.
Oh, that's
my
pretty
job.
cool.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
that wall does look great.
Laser wall.
Yeah.
Double laser wall. The only thing better than one laser wall.
Just 2 laser walls.
Nice shot, Pawn. Oh, that's interesting.
Working the futuristic control panel.
Oh man,
That's cool.
that's yep.
That looks really good. And that's not all. He comes with a voice pack as well, so we should have a little listen to that too.
Yes. You're fundamental. Stella. I wield the biggest bang. Space is silent. So should you be.
Nice.
Recognize when you are beaten. Your death should render magnificent data. Ah, the music of the planets, or as we call them, nip tunes.
Oh.
If only you had welcomed your new alien overlords.
That's good.
Was that a taunt?
Yeah.
I think it was. And the laugh is still there, as per usual.
That's a pretty
good.
epic laugh.
With good old Toph. Now, as well as these skins, this patch we've got one other thing to do with the skins, which is the Bastet Mastery update, I guess we should mention as
yes.
well. Obviously, on our quest to continue updating gods, when we get a new skin, we do continue to try and update the masteries, and Bastet's
We
turn
do.
is
We
this
don't
patch as well.
always get to do all of them for those of you who've been asking. We try to get as many in as we can.
Yes.
And this week we have the Bastet one, which will be ready momentarily. Hopefully, Pompon might be having issues with it because he might have remembered it, which is generally Pompon's issue.
We're going
we
to
are
it.
ready. Okay, let's go in to see the Bastet Mastery updates.
Yay.
This is the blue and gold, the standard. You get a rank 1, which you should all be rank 1 at Bastet now after the 3,000,000 worshippers a weekend that's been going on.
Get those stars.
And if you want to get to rank 5... Oh, the
Wow,
gold
golden
cats. Look at those
buttercats.
gold cats.
Gotta see the gold cats.
Got to see the legendary cats now as well.
Oh yeah.
In the black and gold. Black and gold's always my favorite combo. I don't know why.
I like
always
it a lot
like
too.
Kind of looks
Yeah,
a little blue.
sweet.
The sheen looks a little blue.
And the kitties.
Maybe.
And they're black and gold too.
It's usually just the reflectivity.
Yeah, that's probably what it is.
And now the diamond version, which you can all get if you master her and then wait for these to come out. Yeah,
Nice.
Is that how that works?
pretty much. I mean, you got to get to rank 10 first of all, so do that
It's
this week
true.
with triple week
Yeah.
worshippers. And then
Triple
when the patch
worshippers.
hits,
It was a
you're done.
day.
Oh man,
It's
I've been
like a billion. I think it goes until
only-
tomorrow still. I heard
Tomorrow?
it was till Thursday morning or something like that. I'd heard.
yeah. Let's just crash the
So-
client, Pon.
Good idea,
That'd be
Pon.
No,
awesome.
he spawned a lot more meshes than that in
He
the,
has.
in the past. He'll
Okay,
be all right.
now execute them all at the same time.
He's not even lagging yet. Like,
They're gonna just die of their own accord. They have very short lifespans.
kitty.
Sad.
Kitty massacre.
Yeah.
Cat suicide. Right, that's the Bastet Mastery update as well. So that's all the skins we've got this week. But I do want to talk about the skins a little bit more with you guys because these skins, these star skins that we're going to be releasing, are part of a small event. Is that correct?
Yeah, this is our Celestial Voyage event.
Right. And so what's the whole plan? How do you get these skins and how do you actually go about unlocking them with this event?
So this is going to be kind of like the Underworld event from last year.
Okay.
You're going to be able to buy each skin individually. Each time you buy one of those skins, you'll be able to access the kind of bonus mini game that we can go into a little bit more here, but that's going to get you more bonus rewards. So there's a music frame, loading frame, or music theme, loading frame, pedestal,
And then background.
And then the new
The
background.
new feature.
Yeah.
new feature, which we have prepped to show you guys at some point, which is going to be loading screen backgrounds.
Well, let's
Yeah.
have a look at the loading screen background
It's-
then.
We've
as
been
it
getting
should be
requests
ready
for this
us.
from the community for a long time, and this is now happening. So
For
this
a
is the
look-
first one.
I don't even know what these are, so I'm excited to see what the loading screen background will
They're
look like.
customizable, so you can keep it turned off if you want, and as
Okay.
you accumulate more of these, you can choose between which one you want. to
Right.
store
The
background of
default
your
always
loading
being
screen.
black, of course. So that's it looks.
Oh, that's actually quite sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we
It's
got
quite
the kind
pretty.
of portal with the pyramids.
So you can get this loading frame, as well as the background loading screen, the pedestal, and a music theme are all unlockable things for competing in this event.
Yeah,
correct?
Pon, did you figure out a good way to make the event be...
Can we show that?
That's a camera. That's not Pon.
All right, but the
That's
basic
a
rules.
camera.
Basic rules
I
of the
can't
event.
gesture towards
It's not
Pon
Pon.
Pon. He's not in
he's,
the room.
He's like way over there somewhere. But so the basic rules of the event are: there's 4 skins. You can
Okay.
buy any of them individually, 1 or 4, as many as you want. If you buy all 4, you get the bonus skin,
Which is...
Thoth.
Yeah.
So, to confirm, Anher, Bastet, Kepri, Neath are purchasable.
Yes.
And if you purchase all of those, you will get Toth free.
Correct.
Now,
Buy 4, get 1 free.
we did some additional extra cool things here, which was the bonus rewards are bonus. So you can, and there's also quests and a whole game system that kind of goes with that stuff. So you purchase a skin and you get a crafting point. You can see it over there on the right.
Okay.
And once you have a crafting point, you can quest to unlock hieroglyphs.
Gotcha.
So, see, there's these hieroglyphs here. You do a quest, you get rewards for the quest, and then you get the hieroglyph from the quest.
So, to get the bonus rewards, guys at home, just to give you a very quick rundown of this, you unlock a skin and you'll get an item that will go towards unlocking the bonus rewards. Then you will also complete a quest that will go towards completing the unlock of the bonus reward. Do
Right.
both those things, and you will unlock one of those bonus rewards.
There's a bit of a puzzle element to it.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
everybody can do all the quests for free.
Right.
For the free rewards, there's some chests and some favor and things like that in there. But if you want the bonus rewards, the frame, the skin, the pedestal, or the background theme, you'll have to buy at least 1 skin and then get the proper combination
By reading the
of
hint.
hieroglyphs.
Okay, ground grain, baked to eat, wrapped in fabric to resist the elements, packed for a long journey without sandals.
Right.
That's going to hint to tell
That's
you
my clue.
which 3 hieroglyphs you need to get the loading.
A
So I need
sentence
shoes.
per hieroglyph.
Right, I need shoes because without sandals, I'm going to need shoes then, right? Packed for a long journey without sandals.
Let's not decode the hints.
yeah,
I
here.
decode it, man.
So yeah,
I'm working.
That's why
the
it's a
community
puzzle.
will figure out the combinations, and I'm sure they'll help each
Can we
other.
just
yeah,
get a
help
sneak
each
peek
other.
of which
Post on
one,
Reddit.
which one this
I mean,
one is?
yeah, if you find out.
I mean, it's probably safe to say that the
sequences.
shoe hieroglyph is used in there because of the reference to
Gotcha.
Journey Without Sandals. Probably.
Ground grain.
Yeah. I don't know. They,
know
they
what
have
you-
names,
the crow?
so if you read them, maybe
Yeah,
there's one
see
that
that-
makes more sense.
it tells you what it is, like
Okay.
vulture hieroglyph, folded cloth hieroglyph. So there's names for each of them.
I'm getting it. Cool.
So you can kind of figure out what it is going.
Yeah,
So
and
let's-
it's just recommended to do all the quests at once so that you can have a lot to play with. Because if you don't unlock, like if you don't complete a quest, then it's not activated for you to
Gotcha.
you know.
Okay,
Right,
do your
that's-
quests,
do
buy
the
your
quests.
skins, get everything. That's basically how you go about it.
Yep.
Yep.
That sounds good.
Cool. That's how we sell it. It's that simple. Buy 4, get 1 free in terms of the skins overall as well, just in case you just want the skins. But if you want to complete the event and get the bonus stuff, do the quests, then unlock the skins, job done, move on.
And you get quest rewards for doing the quests to unlock the hieroglyphs.
Awesome. There's even more
And
bonuses.
there's some good chests in there. And
Bonuses
Stuff, so.
on bonuses. Next up, though, before we even move on to item balance, which I know you are waiting for, we do have a visual update for you as well. Has this been leaked already?
Yeah, the spoilers have been very light on this.
So does no one really know what this will be?
Maybe some people who follow the data miners and stuff like that. But
Tina, do you know who it is? Do you follow the data miners?
I mean, we know who it is.
Ah, you're funny.
Yeah, I try to be. But not as hard as you.
Try harder.
Poseidon is getting a visual update right now.
Yes.
Yeah! Poseidon's getting a visual update.
He's got nipples this
He's
time.
a man.
I know
Nipples, you guys.
He's a man.
He looks
Good job,
huge.
Jack.
Look at that poor little minion that's on the edge of a boat. Like
Oh.
right there.
He's
like,
getting lane
"No."
farmed, lane cleared right there, that guy.
He is, and I can see a kraken in the background by the looks of it too. Oh my god, he's got a nipple!
Yep.
Yes, he
does.
does.
He has a nipple, confirmed.
Zoom in, Pon.
Oh, yeah.
Is it hairy?
We made sure to make it extra pronounced just so
It's
people
still
can
not as
see.
good as Zhang's though, but it's okay.
Yes.
Well,
so,
Zhang's are pierced, so.
That's why I'm saying Zhang's are better, you know? Like,
Yeah.
So we wanted Poseidon to be more majestic and less of a weird fishman. I mean, fishman.
Fishman.
Sorry.
Fishman.
Hey, man.
Sorry,
Be
fish.
nice to fish.
That was totally an
Fishy friend.
accident.
But Poseidon
Fishman.
had some weird, like, kind of half aqueous, half man features, and now he's more of a real Greek god, like, very humanoid, but with the aqueous features on his armor and stuff instead.
Oh, we've changed the ability icon of Kraken as well, by the looks of it,
Yes,
right?
I think his
just saw
ability
that then.
icons. We might be updating all of them.
And he's got his sweet cuttlefish flaps that hang
His
down.
his visual effects have been updated as well.
Where are
Oh,
the
they have,
cuttlefish
that's
flaps?
fantastic.
They hang down from the back of his apparel.
Yeah, those two.
And the Tiger as well. A bit of an update to that.
Okay.
Everyone's just spamming show Kraken already.
His trident glows a lot
spins
better than before.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks really nice.
Well, especially when we stack the buff unrealistically.
Oh, here we go.
And the Whirlpool?
Whirlpool.
Is it actually stacking?
Oh!
Visually?
What's in it?
Is it? Do it
Those are
again.
little shark fins, maybe?
Yeah, those are new.
No,
I don't think
they're-
Pawn can make to too brighter by using it over and over again, can he?
No, I'm not sure.
I don't think it can. Okay, enough stalling. Do it, Pawn.
Not in this
What?
tight
Not do-
quarters.
Oh my-
This is the
Okay,
least
cool.
majestic location.
Where's the best,
Cracking
where's
those
the best
red-
majestic
those red
location?
buff
That,
guys,
that
maybe.
big clearing was pretty decent.
The red buff, Pawn. Come on.
All right, mid lane. Where all the Krakens
Here we
really
go.
happen. This is
Yeah.
where all the Krakens happen anyway.
It's true.
This is going to be good.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
he's facing away from us,
Yeah,
though.
we
Pawn, can you
Yeah.
point him towards us, please? Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
So the Kraken
animation
did get a
is crazy.
remodel as well.
Yeah, I
you
can
can
see.
see it a lot more clearly in the
Slow-mo version.
victory screen too, of course. But he's been updated.
That
to
looks a
look
lot more
little
terrifying.
fearsome.
I was going to say, it looks a little bit more terrifying if that jumps out and kicks.
The Kraken, just to note, is the original Kraken was one of the oldest models in the game because we had originally made it to use as a jungle camp. And then we decided to use it when we made Poseidon. So now it's been
Oh, that's me.
updated.
Oh, my.
And it now does
Get
that
wrecked.
too.
That is so cool.
So, if we made the original Kraken to be a jungle camp, does that mean we could bring the old Kraken back as a jungle camp, AJ?
No.
No.
Okay, it was worth asking, okay? Because I know people are going to ask
We just
it, so
remodeled it so we can
know,
look
I
at
was
the
just-
nice version.
I was just going to defend it because I know Twitch chat. I know what they're going to
Oh, I
say.
love it.
Yeah, so
He
this
looks
one
fantastic. It's not just this skin, though, is it, as well? It's like his recolors as well have changed with this, obviously. to be
recolor
updated.
and mastery.
And the London Conspiracy skin, I believe. I heard that got a
Oh.
bit of an update as well that I saw.
Yeah,
I heard about that one.
that sounds right.
I'm not sure if it's got it.
I think we usually do the esports skin as well. Yeah.
we can show the card art for the recolors, that's
the
for sure.
recolor card art is awesome. I really like this card art.
That is really cool.
This to me says God of the Sea, right? Like, right. This is Poseidon,
Yep.
and I love the color palette.
I
Too.
like the tentacles.
Okay.
Of course you would love tentacles, Tina.
What? I think
Of course
they're
you would.
really
On stream, if
oceany.
you're not swearing,
They're
you're trying to bait
tentacular.
Twitch chat even more, aren't you?
It's just very oceany, and it's Krakeny. It's who he is.
And tentacly as well,
Yeah.
if that's even a word. That is Poseidon for you, boys and girls. His voice pack stays the same, correct?
Yes.
Cool, because I like that voice. I don't think it
Yeah,
needs
base
changing,
Poseidon,
honestly.
we really liked his voice.
Yeah.
Yes, he's very, been around for a long time. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Exactly.
So what about other skins of Poseidon, like the Poseidon and things like that? Just out of interest, I
No,
know people are gonna ask
Poseidon
about
is
that.
staying the same.
Right.
It's just his recolors and masteries, and
Okay.
possibly the esports skin.
I think the LC one is on that list from what I've seen.
That's dope.
I remember seeing the esports skin card redo. I think.
Okay, so it's mastery, recolor, and
The LC
esports.
skin, yeah.
The Dreadbeard Poseidon is going to stay the same.
Cool. The Pyre version, and then obviously the Poseidon one as well. That images to the most people.
And then of course
are
we have
always
some more
after.
skins coming down the line for him, but
We
Those-
do.
Oh,
Ooh,
that
those guys
mastery's
are-
really cool.
We've got some good ones.
yeah, we'll keep the spoilers light, but
Well, there's a set of golden. Then we've got legendary as well. Probably if Pompon has that available to us.
I bet there's a lot of Diamond Poseidons right
black
around
and
now.
gold.
He's real popular right now, and after the worshiper events, oh, that looks sick.
Yeah. Oh man, good times.
Good times.
This is good. Poseidon will drive me less insane when I'm playing the game now. It's gonna be great.
I just want to stare at his chest all day now. Oh, a golden
gold
Kraken as
Kraken.
well.
Golden
With his own
Kraken.
little- I got to see the diamond one now.
Are we gonna?
Oh, his belly is black. It's cute.
Got to see the diamond Kraken. It's beautiful.
Oh yeah,
Oh man.
A murderous thing of beauty.
Oh yeah.
nice. Great. I'm really happy with how this remodel turned out.
And if you want to
I
see
am
the
too.
card art real quick for the London Conspiracy skin, we can show you that as well before we move on. I know we spent a bit of time here, but obviously remodels take a little bit of time, and there's the London Conspiracy skin looking kind of dope
Nice.
underwater as
I
well.
like it, yeah.
Nice card art.
So you got it. We did the thing. Poseidon redo.
Poseidon
did.
remodels.
You did. Thank you, guys.
This is
That's
one
been-
that we needed.
So Poseidon and all the star skins are going to be available in the next patch, as well as a Bastet Mastery update. That's what we've got in terms of skins today. And next up will be items and going through the God balance stage. We'll be back in a minute, but I'm going to go head over straight away to the community managers we have of SMITE, which is Hira's Amanda and Hira's Savvy. They're both available now. Amanda in charge of PC and Savvy in charge of console. Ladies, how are you doing?
Pretty good, yeah. We're excited about this patch.
Awesome. Well, I want to go over a couple of things with you girls. Amanda, start with you first of all, is community contest, right? We've got this going on. Where can they vote? What is it about?
Yeah, so we've got the SMITE birthday week happening right now, so there's tons of stuff going on in game. But we also have the community skin contest, where last year the community chose Kronos, and he got the Fallen Lord skin, which is really cool. So the new contest right now, if you just head over to smitegame.com, there's a birthday blog post, and the link to vote is there. Right now, we're just choosing the God, so that voting ends tomorrow, and then we'll move on to themes, submissions. It's a bit of a long process, but it's really cool.
Awesome. And on top of that, we've got our birthday week going on right now, correct?
Yes.
And that means a lot of sales and things. What have we got in terms of sales at the moment, Amanda?
Right now, all voice packs are 50% off, but we have a different thing every single day. So if you look on the blog, you'll see the entire week's worth of stuff. And then also the God pack is 50% off, and all gems are 33% off.
Okay, awesome. A lot of things going on in terms of sales then as well. Savvy, console
Hello.
time. Good job on making sure that patch went out on time, first of all.
Yes, this patch was super smooth.
But it better stay that way, you hear me?
Don't worry, we are still on track with our odd patch 4.5 coming up in the next 2 weeks, so I couldn't be happier.
Awesome.
And with that patch, PS4 players can look forward to spectate mode. That will be making a return.
Oh,
so.
Spectate's back on PS4?
Yes.
Awesome. Now, on top of that as well, I've heard questions about the Eagle World Championship skin, because we've had the Energy one on PC.
We have.
Where's my console one?
Don't worry, it's in the pipeline. I can't forget our eager champions, so we can look forward to an SEL skin for those guys in 4.6, but I'm not going to give any more hints.
Do we know who it is?
I know who it is.
Do I know who it is?
You know who it is because I told you.
Oh, right.
But
Should I leak it? I mean, I probably shouldn't. I'll probably get in trouble for that, right?
You could, but I'd have to come for you if you did that.
All right, I wouldn't do that. I'll just leave it on the radar for now, and that'll work out that way as well.
That sounds good.
Ladies, pleasure to see you as always. Thank you so much for talking to us from the community. If you need to follow those two ladies, you know exactly where to find them, Savvy and Amanda. You see them all through the community. But now it's time to move on to what you've all been waiting for. Obviously, we try and get to this point as quick as we can, but there's always new content. Pod is here. How you doing?
A little bit sick. So if my voice is a little bit weird, that's why.
Are we in
Hopefully-
alphabetical order today?
If we're not, don't hold it against me, because again, I'm sick.
I'm not going to. You're sick. I'm
Thank
not
you.
going to pick on you at all. He's not well, okay? We'll be nice.
Yeah, but we'll get through this. It'll be fine.
Well, we'll start things off with God achievements, because that's what everybody's really here to find out about. And it's going to be Kernanos, first of all. He's going to get some God achievements this week. And first one is going to be picking out. As Kernanos, kill one enemy God who is currently polymorphed from your Wild Hunt ability.
So
Simple.
yeah, just ult someone with it and kill him.
And the second one is Season's Shift. As Kernanos, kill one enemy God who is currently afflicted by Autumn Decay debuff, while Kernanos is in a different stance from the Shifter of Season's ability.
Yeah, I encourage you to actually play him with the Autumn stance, debuff them, and then switch the other things, and then come back to it.
Just keep pressing one, it'll happen eventually.
Yeah,
That's the best way
eventually.
of doing it, right? And then next up is Miscellaneous, which is where we get onto the fun stuff, as per usual. The first one is all items, God abilities, and relics should now properly follow slow stacking rules.
So-
what are these slow stacking rules?
So we made a pass to make sure that all items, relics, and god abilities were following the proper stacking rules. The rules for that are items should not stack with each other, but they can stack with anything else. So a Frostbone Hammer and a Poison Star, the Frostbone Hammer would win on the
they're
slow,
items, yeah.
but then it would also stack with something like a Raw Divine Light.
Right.
And it would also then stack with a relic.
So slow stack, but from different genres of ability.
God abilities can stack with anything,
Right.
and including themselves.
Okay.
And relics follow the same rules as God abilities.
Gotcha. So that's the small change happening here.
The only caveat to relics is which we'll get to, which is the relic and the relic upgrades don't stack with each other.
Right.
Yes.
Makes sense. And on top of that, we've also got updated the list of items and relics that are announced to your team when purchased. So, when you used to get things like Sovereignty, your team would know about it. Well, now you're going to know Magic Shell has been purchased, Meditation, Phantom Veil, Frenzied Ritual, Void Shield, Spiked Shield as well. Is there more? Yes, Runic Shield.
And we removed two that weren't actually auras.
Sage's Stone and Stone of Fall.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So now this was someone who pointed out on Reddit, and we fixed it pretty quickly.
Okay. After that, clan banning. Clan banning?
Yeah, so
I can ban clans?
no. So basically, people would troll clans by being able to join, and then they would get kicked, and then they would just join again because if it was an
I did
open
that.
one. And so now,
I did that.
Well, then
was fun.
now you're banned. Rip.
I'm banned.
You're banned from that clan.
From the game?
If they choose to use /clan ban, then they can ban you.
Okay, so they can /clan ban you to stop people jumping in and out of clans, or if they don't want somebody ever coming back again.
Yes.
Remove them with clan ban.
And you can clan unban someone too. So if you ban someone and you realize, oh no, I don't want them to be banned, you can unban them with clan unban.
Okay, cool. And that's just for that clan, and that's
Yes.
yeah. Okay, that's kind of cool. It's only the clan leader that can do that. That's what I was going to clear up there.
Yes, the clan leader can only do that.
Nobody else, just the clan leader. So if you're the clan leader, you can go on your banning sensation, starting the next patch, just kick everyone. Send me a screenshot, and I'll give you
Send a
thumbs
screenshot
up.
of 1,000 clan now down to one person.
Derpy Bear, if you do that with the fish clan, that'd be the funniest thing. Do it. Just kick all Barracuda's fans out of his community clan. That'd be great. On then to the next one, which is fix an issue where gold and experience earned while dead would not be counted towards your team gold and experience in the combat log.
Yeah, this was more of a spectator bug. If someone died but then got like assist credit afterwards, it wouldn't actually properly count in the combat log.
Gotcha.
They'd get it, and if you looked at the aggregate stats, it'd be correct, but like for some graphs, it was wrong. So we fixed that.
So that's going to be updated now. Then on to items this week. The first item on the top of the shop is Flickering Ritual.
This one's kind of a funny story.
Time in the funny story, Pam.
So in internal testing, we always try a lot of different things. And so Flickering Ritual is one that we were looking at. And one of the nerfs we had was to reduce the range. And while we were playtesting it, we didn't think it was necessarily the right move. And so we ended up with a cost increase instead. But game development is hard. Patching magic can happen sometimes. And the cost increase and the range nerf went into live. The description wasn't updated to display that, but it was actually only going 40. We saw how it played out, though, so we saw that people were actually enjoying it, seeing a lot less frustration with Flickering Ritual overall, and so we're going to keep it, and then we're going to watch it and see how that actually plays out now that everyone knows that that's what's happening.
So all we've done this patch, then, is left it exactly how it is now, which is at
Yes.
40 units blink, but what we did was update the tooltip to reflect that it only moves you 40 units.
Yes.
Okay. Well, that's a way to nerf it, I guess, without even realizing it.
I mean, a lot of people have a lot less frustration over it, so it ended up being actually a good thing. But
I mean, it's better than buffing it back to 50 again, too, because that would have been awkward.
it would have been a bit awkward.
So it's been nerfed and everyone's not really complaining about it anymore, so we're going to buff it. That would have been really strange.
That would have been a bit strange.
I get the idea behind that. Next on the list is Hydra's Star. This is going to be a bit of a cost increase. This is the rank 2 version of Hydra's Lament, if you don't know. Hydra's Star cost will go up from 1,000 to 1,200, whereas Hydra's Lament will remain the same price. Why are we doing this?
So you'll see this actually with a few other changes that we have going into the patch. Generally, the power curve is a really important aspect to a lot of characters' kits, especially assassin junglers, right? The power spec that you get from building Hydra's Lament and Hydra's Star are kind of game defining. And so even though this is just a small increase on the tier 2 cost, we've seen that actually has great effects in terms of like how people ramp up and how quickly they ramp up.
Gotcha.
And so instead of nerfing Hydra's Lament, which we don't think is necessarily something that needs to be directly addressed, it was getting online a bit too quickly and a bit too easily because the tier 2 version of it is actually quite strong on its own.
Yeah.
So we're addressing the tier 2 of it to kind of slow down the power curve of the item as a whole.
Okay, so if you still want to go into it, the item's still going to do
Yeah.
the same thing. It's just 200 gold in the earlier ranks. The final gold is still
It's
the
the same.
same. So overall, still the same item for the same value. Next up, Mantle of Discord is next on the list. This is going to get a cooldown reduction nerf from 15% to 10%. But not only that, we're going to decrease the gold cost of this item from 3,100 to 2,900, 200 gold down.
So this is more to do with how kind of CDR cap exists in our game. It's 40%, and so you can stack 2 10s and a 20 really easily, but once you get a 15, it's really hard to stack those with anything else without being slightly under or slightly over.
Right.
And so we just want to get rid of that last additional one that was in the game, the 15%, move it to 10%, and then adjust the cost downward a little bit to compensate for that change. It also is kind of we are addressing a little bit more of an early game defensive item choice. And so the cost reduction here also makes us a little bit better of a late game choice for people who invest the gold. So if you want to invest in defenses, you can get a little bit later, but it's overall mostly to adjust the cooldown reduction.
Okay, cool. Next on the list is Mark of the Vanguard. This is getting a small nerf this patch.
This is the one I was talking about.
Why is it getting nerfed?
This was mainly because we saw a rise of triple Guardian comps that were doing really, really well. And there was a bit of a kind of a concern that this was doing too well and was shutting out too many other comps.
Yeah.
So we don't mind that teams are doing stuff like this where they're actually deciding comps on these certain items and certain strategies, but it was just a bit too effective, and so we're toning it down just a hair so that other strategies can kind of compete with it a little bit more directly.
And as you can see on your screen right now, it's 150 health down to 100, so it's back to what it was last season, pretty much.
Yeah,
is what we did. We still the same effects, but just health is back to 100.
800 gold for a lot of tankiness is just really valuable, so we're toning it down a little bit on the health side.
Talking about toning something down, we're going to tone something up. Masamune is up next, and this is going to get a passive increase on the protections provided by each stack. It was 5, it's now 7.
This is one of these really hybrid like aggressive defensive choices that reward you for diving into a team and getting a whole bunch of that stack up.
Yeah.
And so we just want to make that a little bit more rewarding when you actually got a whole bunch of people together. So now it's instead of 25 as the cap, it's now 35 as the cap for protections.
Gotcha.
So when you're actually in the middle of a team fight being aggressive, you get the full benefit of it, and the full benefit's really good.
And you get 7 a stack, which is kind of cool as well.
Mm-hmm.
Next up is relic stacking changes. You mentioned this a little bit earlier on when
Yes.
we're talking about how the things go on. All relics have been updated to not stack with their upgraded form.
Yeah, so if you got Sunder and you got Sunder upgrade, what you could do is you could just, like, if they have...
Two-shot.
You could two-shot someone, or you could just sit there and stack protections on them. Or if you had 2 slowing warriors and you had the upgrade version and the non-upgrade version, they would stack together.
Right.
So now they don't stack together. This is mainly to discourage teams and players from kind of like, oh, I have this relic, I want to spend 500 gold to upgrade, but my teammate upgraded it, and it's actually now a bad choice for me to upgrade it because I could just stack these instead. And so we just want to make sure that when you get a relic, it's worth going for the upgrade always.
So you always want to go for the upgrade and not hold it back so your teammate can go for the other one and get double. Okay, so there's a little bit of a change to the relic stacking changes there for you guys. Heavenly Wings upgrade will now always provide the basic attack penalty removal, even if the movement speed buff is removed from the target.
This is more just like a fix to make sure it's separated out, because before they were tied together so that if you got the movement speed removed from you in any way, you'd actually lose Fatalis. And so now you get to keep it, even if the slow is removed.
So if you do get slow, you're still going to have Fatalis effect. Cool. Next on the list is Rod of Healing / Rod of Asclepius. This is another one.
This is
for these items.
Aphrodite duo lane. Rod of Healing, Rod of Asclepius stacking.
Oh, you had to deal with this?
I've had to deal with it. I beat it, but it was definitely frustrating. Thanatos, just ganking that lane all day.
All day long. This is basically the passives for these items no longer stack with each other. Instead, the strongest healing bonus will now take priority.
So if you have Rod of Healing versus Asclepius wins unless the Rod of Healing holder is in combat, then he wins. But then if Rod of Asclepius gets in combat, then he wins. And it will only take the strongest effect at any given time.
Unless you're Thanatos, and then he always wins.
Yes.
According to Pon.
Thanatos always wins.
Enchanted Spear is next on the list, and this one is going to get a cost reduction in the tree. Reduced cost from 1450 to 1400. Spear of the Magus and Divine Ruins cost remain unchanged, however.
So this is just a slight tweak to this item, and we also have adjustments to Spear of the Magus and Spear of Desolation as well. But this one is, again, if you want to rush this item, get early pen really quickly, getting 2 potions versus 1 is really effective. And this also makes it just a hair easier to build into like certain item choices and certain item decisions that you want to make. This one is not the main buff to the tree. The main buff to the tree is the other 2 items, but this is a slight tweak to help it.
And when we look at the other 2 items as well, Spear of Desolation, the first one on the list, that's going to get a gold reduction, and it's going to go from 2800 to 2600 now as well. And not only that, there is Spear of the Magus itself, which with a passive on this, we've increased the max stat count from 3 to 5. So both these items have been buffed.
Yeah, so Spear of Desolation is more towards, it gives a lot of power, pen, and cooldown reduction, but not enough to justify the cost. And part of that became from the passive, the potential cooldown reduction. Just wasn't proccing enough and wasn't effective enough to justify that cost. So we're toning it down so people can fit it into their builds a bit more easily. And then Spear of the Magus it's kind of always been 2 sides of the coin, Spear of the Magus and Obsidian. Do you want upfront burst or do you want stacking protection shred? And for the characters that could stack it up really quickly, like Anubis, Shang-Kui, Poseidon, even they often just prefer the raw burst. And so now we want to make it so that if you go with the Spear of the Magus, you're playing around this passive more. So now you can stack it up to 50 protection shred on the target, which not only helps you but your team.
50% or 50?
50 flat.
50 flat.
Yeah.
I thought you said percentage for a second.
Yeah, no, it's 50 flat.
Okay.
So you can actually now stack this up. So if you have someone who can apply a whole bunch of dots really quickly, you can pick this up to help your team. Or if you can play around that, you can actually shred them down and then burst them really, really hard. So it should now directly compete better with Void Shard.
It'll be more situational based on what god you're playing as well.
Yeah.
Not just cookie cutter build every single time. All being well. On the list next is Soul Trap as well. This is getting a cost reduction. This is a mighty cost reduction, Pompon. Reduced cost from 1600 to 1400 for Soul Trap. This is the tier 2, by the way, to get you to Book of Thoth or Soul Reaver.
Yeah, Soul Reaver.
Yeah. Either of those 2 items, but it's 1600 to 1400. 200 gold down. Why?
The big thing here is we saw a lot of people rushing like pen boots into Dynasty, into Ethereal, which are these like semi-hybrid items that you just stack together. And largely that was enabled by choices like rushing a Book of Thought to get a whole bunch of power to build into super late game mage. You were getting out-bullied a little bit by the choices of like just early pen into like a little bit of health. And so we want to make that choice a little bit better. So if you want to go for the raw stacking power, so you can go to that Rada Tahuti late game and hit for like 1,000+ damage. That build is a little bit easier to go into. You could start out and get 65 power off the bat, which competes pretty directly with other starter choices.
That's true.
But you also don't have a starter to help you out like the mana regen or the cooldown reduction from like Sands of Time. So the choice should now be better.
Kukulkan likes this change.
Kukulkan would like this.
Tier 2 Kukulkan, just like Tier 2 Soul Trap, jobs are good.
Yep.
Move on with your life. Items are done for this patch. Next up is God Balance, and we'll go through it in alphabetical order, all being well, depending on what Pop-Pon's done.
I think it's alphabetical.
I've not checked.
I think it's actually pretty good.
I don't trust it anymore, so I don't even bother checking. That's the thing. Now I'm just like, it's probably wrong. Aphrodite is the first god that's going to be seeing some change to her. It's not a big change, though.
It's a bug fix.
It's a bug fix. Fix an issue where the same target being kissed by 2 Aphrodites would cause them to gain a permanent speed boost.
Yes.
This is more, I guess, is more happening with when Morrigan was in with
Yeah.
an Aphrodite at the same time. They both kissed the same person.
This is one of those things where like multiple gods end up having these weird rules, and we have to fix a lot of them for Morrigan,
Right.
and then this is just one that we have to fix in addition.
So small little change to Aphrodite. Next on the list is Ares. Ares is going to get a bit of a change to his shackles.
This one's interesting.
Here. Increased minion damage dealt from 25 to 105 is now going to be 50 to 130. Now that's only minion damage, so it's not going to impact
Yes.
god damage, or he's not getting like damage buffed. He's just minion buffed.
Only minion damage buff.
Right.
And so we actually had these 2 separate damage values that you could adjust, and
Yeah.
so we just the minion ones. It will still hit the same exact value for the gods. And the big thing here is when you were at Ares level 1, if you got chained because you want to be aggressive, it didn't work out, and then you throw that chain to the minion wave, and they don't even like move their health bars at all. It felt really, really bad.
Yeah.
And so now you can get 50, which helps you a little bit more. And then there's the high-end payoff, which is the I shot it through minion wave, hit someone,
do it
then
again.
do it again, hit someone again, do it again,
Okay.
and now I've suddenly done 150. So
Gotcha.
Ares players who are really skilled can actually do a lot better in the lane, and kind of encourages his aggressive playstyle, where he was kind of pushed out before because other lanes were just so like heavy with pushing.
Yeah, because he's level 1. He was one of the ones that really struggled with his level 1
Yeah.
in the Guardian role. So a little bit of a change to Ares there as well. Next up is Kurdanos. Kurdanos is getting buffed.
No,
It's not
nope.
really.
No.
It's not really. I'm sorry. He's going to see a couple of nerfs here. What's the overall aim with the nerfs, Pom Pom?
The big thing is we want to keep the unique thing about him, the shifting of seasons, make sure all those feel really impactful. And so there were other parts of his kit that were causing frustration.
Okay.
One of them was part of the shifter seasons, but we didn't hit it too hard, which was the sustain that he had. Another one was the slow from the Bramble Blast that he did. And so we've done a few things to adjust or remove certain aspects of that kit so that it's not so frustrating to fight against, but it still keeps the core feeling of Kurdanos.
Okay, so Kurdanos changes are, first of all, the general, his reduced base power from 40 to 37, first of all.
Yeah, that one's to make sure that his early level boxing isn't too, like, his early clear, his early boxing just doesn't, like, chunk you so hard.
Yep. And on top of that, Shifter's Shield as well. Sorry, Shifter's Shield. Shifter of Seasons, that's just me knowing, please. Shifter of Seasons, the lifesteal effect has gone from 8 to 20%. He's now going to be 5
Yeah, it looks
to
like
15%.
it's incorrect on the thing. It is, the lifesteal was reduced.
Gotcha. Lifesteal has been reduced, guys, on the Shifter of Seasons. It was 20% at max. It's 15% at max. It started at 8%. It now starts at 5%, just so you know. And then Bramble Blast as well. This no longer slows.
Yeah, it just doesn't slow anymore.
It just deals damage and roots.
Yep, so it creates this giant zoning field that can actually harm people who are in it. It also creates a route that you can use to engage on someone, but it doesn't cause that slowing situation where people would get slowed and then caught out and then they would die really quickly, and it doesn't create this like really hard barrier to pass. So now if you want to walk through it really quickly, it's really easy to do that, where before you probably got caught and died.
But what you want to do, if you're using Bramble Blast, is hit him with that and then switch to the season mode where it's ice and then smash him in the face with that so you get the slow anyway.
Yep, you can get the slow anyway.
Win. Hercules next up. Hercules needed a nerf, Pom Pom.
Yes, he did.
He did, and Hercules is going to get a nerf this patch. Not a monstrous one, but it might be if you think about it in the right circumstances. Mitigate wounds. Increased cooldown from 15 seconds to 17 seconds.
Yeah, I think Hercules has kind of a bigger story here overall. We redid him in Season 4. He was struggling before that. He often couldn't engage in the late game because people would just box him out really quickly, and he wouldn't be able to heal up quick enough to actually sustain anything. So when we made the heal instant, we made his passive be a little bit more useful. He suddenly was able to kind of brawl all stages of the game. And so we wanted to watch him really closely before we made any adjustments to him, before putting him like back in a situation where he couldn't fight. And so through other god changes and through other item changes that were kind of targeted indirectly towards him, like Shield of
Regrowth.
See, now you've got me doing
I know, the old shifters.
So like Shield of Regrowth nerf, for example, hit a lot of characters, but also hit Hercules. And so seeing how those pan out before we do a direct nerf to him was kind of the method we want to go with him. And so the nerf we ended up with is actually pretty minor, but it does mean that he can't heal as much. There's bigger windows where he's not going to be able to heal up instantly, so you can burst him down. It's not like he's going to be able to be constantly healing too much in a fight.
Okay, cool. We'll see how that works out with him. Jingwei, also going to be getting some love this patch. Her base stats are going to be adjusted ever so slightly. Increased base health from 72 to 78 per level. Increased base movement speed from 365 to 370. And the explosive bolt cooldown has come down by 2 seconds, from 16 seconds to 14 seconds. What's with all the changes there, Pom?
So Jingwei kind of suffered a bit from the haste and fatalis removal effect from her kit. And so when we made changes to her overall in Season 3, they were targeted towards removing a lot of her safety, because she has her ultimate that she can use to get away, a leap, she can knock up and leap even further away. Characters like Sobek and Bacchus, they can't actually CC her, because if they grab her, she just immediately dashes out anyway.
Okay.
And so they were targeted towards removing that kind of aspect. And so now that she's kind of in the situation where her boxing potential is as high and she's been underperforming, we want to bring back a little bit of the safety from the base stats, so she actually gets a little bit more health, so she can box a little bit better. She gets a little bit more movement speed, so she can get where she needs to go. But then we want to bring back aggressive tools that encourage her to fight, rather than just bring back things like her dash being on a lower cooldown. And so Explosive Bolt, which is a really large steroid, lets your auto attacks be easily hit and also gives you crit. That's going to be on a lower cooldown, so you can hit that, you get the cooldown reduction that stacks as you have it, use it again, and then you have 14 seconds till you can use it. So this should give her better additional aggressive tools.
Awesome. Nemesis. Nemesis?
Yeah, Nemesis.
What we're doing to Nemesis?
This is I've playtested this, and this feels great.
Okay.
10 out of 10.
I'll read out. Swift Vengeance. Nemesis can now use abilities and basic attacks in between her first and second dash. Her second dash still goes on cooldown after 2 seconds. That's cool.
Yeah, so you can dash, cancel it, start auto-attacking, use your 2, and then dash again.
Is it just kind of bringing in line with like Susanoo, for example? Is that kind of what it's for, this?
There's a few reasons why. One is a big feels one, just to make sure that she feels really kind of fluid in combat. Helps her just in a situation where she was a little bit underperforming.
Yeah.
Another thing is there was a few bugs that kind of happened with the whole situation of like double dashing instantly.
Gotcha.
And so this is kind of an iteration on that tech of being able to have these dashes, as well as like, for example, Xingtian has kind of the older version of the tech. And so depending on how this one works and how this one rolls out, we might actually be updating Xingtian too, so that he can actually have like not as buggy like interactions where people double dash and it bugs out a little bit. So this is kind of our first iteration of the fix for that.
That's cool. It sounds really good. On the list is the Morrigan. This is a couple of bug fixes, I believe. Changeling fixed an issue where clients were not taken to the end of match lobby. Is the Morrigan's ultimate ends after the end of the game. Okay,
Yes.
so that's why that was happening.
That was some of the cases. There's other
Okay.
cases where that can happen, but that was some of them.
And then the other one is fix an issue where the Morrigan's basic attacks would still fire when transformed into a different god.
Yes, and this one was, I believe, just a visual bug.
Right,
But
so it wasn't making an impact.
But it was really confusing when it was happening.
Gotcha. That makes a lot of sense. Toth. Toth?
Yep, he's getting a change too.
We're
He's on the
nerfing him
list.
again?
I mean, this is more to make sure that he doesn't feel so frustrating to play against, because there's definitely one thing where he's hitting his ult right click, ult right click, ult right click, where you're just like, I wish he would stop charging that thing.
Well, this is what we're going to do to this. As you can see on the screen, increase mana cost of his ultimate from 90 to 100, first of all, but cancelling this ability early now costs 30 mana.
Yeah.
So you can channel it the whole duration, then cancel for 30, or I can channel for a second, and it'll cost me 30 mana as well.
The big thing here is when you're kind of sitting in the lane, this mind game that he can do where he's like, oh, am I going to ult you? Am I going to ult you? It's actually kind of a fun thing because you have to play around it. But when it's happening for free and you don't feel like Thoth is really suffering a penalty at all for it, it's a little bit more frustrating on the user end. So now if that's happening to you, let it be known that he is losing mana. And if he's losing mana, he's less safe, he has less abilities to cast, especially in the early game.
It's kind of the same as like when Apollo flies around the sky and you're like, are you ever going to come down from there? It's like, well, at least he's losing mana. That's when you know with him too. The mana next on the list. This is just a quick one. Updated ability icons.
Did it.
I love these ones that you put in the patch pond. These are my most important ones. The ones like Vimana, you know?
I don't.
Like, they're so important for me to have
I'm
to
one of
read
those
these
people
off.
that like really likes updated artwork, and so updated Vimana icons is actually pretty hype for me.
I'm excited to see what those icons look like. Zhonghui is the final god to be looked at this patch, and it's a buff, but a bug fix, I guess is the best way to look at it.
Yeah, it's both.
So, explain.
So we recently changed it so that when the card was removed, it did 75% damage, up from I think it was 40 or 45.
Okay.
But it wasn't calculating scaling properly. It was only calculating scaling at 20%. And so we buffed the base damage it was giving to 75%, but it was still only counting 20% of the scaling.
Oh.
So that meant that his damage, he's only getting about, I think, an additional 90 damage every time he expelled the card at max rank if he didn't get any ticks off. And so now it will scale off your magical power. So we can see, like, in the early game, if you only have, like, 50, it's, like, 110 at max rank. Where if you have, like, 500, it can be an extra 200 damage. And so now he actually has the scaling component when he detonates the card. So this is going to be a relatively big buff for him. We saw him actually move pretty significantly with just the 75% bump.
Okay.
So this is one we want to watch really closely, but we want to make sure we got the right iteration of it out in players' hands before we make any further adjustments to him.
Awesome. So we'll keep an eye on Zhonghui as well. That is all we have on the patch notes. But give us a minute and we'll do Q&A. But in that meantime, have a look at this. Yes, Hi-Res TV are doing a reality show called The Caster that you guys can get involved in as well. TheCaster.tv, if you want to go over there to apply, you can do so. If you actually think you've got the ability to commentate video games, or you think you've got a shot at it, and you want a chance at winning $10,000, yes, 10 grand. I wish I could earn that. I get like 5 gems a week. But 10 grand if you do win the competition, not the tournament, SPL. But yeah, sign up at caster.tv to take part. Closing applications, I believe, close on April 10th, so make sure you do that in the meantime. But right now, end of the patch notes, it's time to do Q&A, and that's why we have AJ back, as per usual, after you just magically appeared.
Yep, yeah, that was easy.
And Pop-Pom, you ready for Q&A today?
Yeah.
I hope these questions are good.
Yeah, we had some good questions today.
We did?
Yeah, we did.
Well, let's have a little look through them. Question 1.
Notes.
Says Smite patch notes. It's 4.5, right?
We're almost
Yes, we
there.
are on 4.5.
Cool. Jukesloth, following the backdoor nerfs, we were told the gods affected would be paid close attention to. Any buffs for Bakasora planned?
I think the big thing here is we watched how all the characters performed that had kind of these backdoor mechanics, and even when removing them, they all didn't move too much. In general, they were kind of situational. Only some games had the backdoor potential be an important factor, and so that's why we were kind of also light with our buffs to certain characters. Overall, though, Bakasura has been doing quite well. He's kind of this character that I think is a little bit sleeper, because if like right now everyone's controlling the oracles, everyone's controlling the fire elemental, everyone's controlling the like major buffs.
Okay.
He can just waltz in and eat them.
That's true.
And so in this kind of meta where there's a lot of roaming, he actually is doing quite well for himself. And so we'd probably want to watch him a little bit closer before making any other future
You had a bit of a
changes.
cheeky grin on your face when you were talking about this. So this kind of tells me this is Pompon's secret pick.
I've been doing that a bit.
Have you?
Just walking in and just eating things and doing some level 2 ganks.
I feel like all Baka players, Baka's like their secret pick, and they can just
That's
pull
true.
out crazy strategies that are really hard to counter.
That's pretty well like
So he's a god. He's a dangerous god. We're keeping an eye on him. And the funny thing is too about the backdoor nerfs, a lot of these gods, they still have the tools that enable them to backdoor or split push really well. So Nuwa, she can spawn her soldiers.
Yeah, they still tank.
The fact that she does a little less damage to the tower is not as big of an effect. Like she can still absorb all that damage and push that tower, but much better than other mages. So the adjustments really didn't hurt the gods as much as the community might think they
Plus,
did.
Scotty's dead. Right, community? Scotty's dead. She's really bad now that you removed the backdoor
SPL
protections.
picks.
Oh no,
Yeah, she's been
Scotty's
doing so
really
well on
bad right
SPL.
now.
Scotty is so good right now, and people keep asking for buffs. It's a tough one.
Question, please.
She's so good.
Dope Swag, is that F-Dot's brother? So what were some of your favorite gods to work on?
Well, I did mostly just QA stuff.
Which one was the one that you
You
enjoyed doing the
play-tested,
QA the most
though.
on?
He's an integral
Well, sure.
part of every god design process.
Think about from the QA aspect, which one's the best one to QA?
I think the most fun was just actually Medusa, because she had such a the final kit to the early kit was completely different. She had like a predator stealth at one point, and I like followed behind Tina for like 2 minutes, and she couldn't see me, and I just like, hey Tina, look behind you, and like she had to stare at the screen really close, and then she screamed, and I just jumped on her with all my abilities. So like just like that part of it, like I think Medusa was a pretty big highlight.
Fun ones. What about you, AJ?
I think Amaterasu. That was my first
That was
goddess.
your first one, wasn't it? Yeah, I
so
can
it was
remember.
just like the magic of working at high res
Doing
and
the
working
first
on
one.
gods was like really amazing, and she turned out really well. I still think she's really balanced and really fun.
She gets played a lot still.
And
And
her
support as well now.
Another thing, there's some gods that I think are. Oh, dude, seriously, the Amaterasu support. I called that. When we were working on her, I was like,
Yeah.
I think this god would make a great support, but the meta at the time just like really didn't work, and no one tried it. And I was like, I know she could be a support, and it finally happened. So I'm really excited about that. And the other thing with Amaterasu is her configuration. Kind of the back end that I have to deal with was not that bad. Like Fafnir is probably one of my favorite gods that I've created, but he has 2 versions of everything.
That's true.
And not to mention his like hammer that spawns a growing radius. That's a completely separate object, so I have to configure that completely separately. So like Fafnir and Terra, although they're really fun, the amount of kind of grind work that the designers have to do to work on them is really annoying.
So that makes the love go down a little bit off of that.
Yeah, it
Thanks
takes
for the
a
question.
couple points away from them.
Thanks for the question, F-Dot's friend, brother,
still a little
cousin.
messed up.
Austin Martin says, are you guys working on a new game mode besides the adventure game modes? Perhaps a 10v10 game mode?
Well, I think part of it is the adventure modes. We've seen one of them, right? We've seen Capture the Flag, but the ones that are coming out are completely people wouldn't be able to really see them coming, the kind of ideas that they're working on. So Adventures really is the new game modes that this person's probably asking about.
Okay.
But things like 10v10, we've talked about that in the past, and in the end it ended up not working out because there's performance constraints with like having 20 characters on the screen, loading all their assets, all their models, especially low-end computers would have a really hard time with that.
And then matchmaking as well. There'll be 9 people on my team feeding.
Yeah.
We're sorry.
9 people on my team feeding every game.
10v10 is not in the plans, but we are experimenting with a lot of very interesting game modes. We're really excited to see how you guys react to the next adventure. It's a little bit more crazy than the current one. Okay. But we have a lot of them planned that are all over the spectrum as far as risk and different types of gameplay. So we'll see how you guys like it, but we're definitely looking into them.
Thanks for the question, Austin. Next up is Awesome Media Ina. What?
I think.
Anna.
Yeah,
Awesome
sorry.
Which god has been the most complicated to make so far? I mean, Fafnir, you said, was quite high on the list, AJ.
Yeah, Fafnir and Terra are probably the most just amount of work, just because of all of the other objects they spawn, and Fafnir having essentially like 2 whole kits worth of configuration. Yeah. So I can't really speak for too many gods way back in the day that they had their own technical constraints. Probably another one difficult recently that I worked on was Scotty, getting Calder working.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
In the right way, yeah.
And, we're still having some small issues with that and constantly working on it. That was definitely difficult. And, of course, we have the Morrigan.
I was going to say, how can you not say Morrigan?
I was just trying to give the kind of,
the most complex
ranking.
god.
So we have the design complexity where, me and Fish have to do a lot of work to configure those kind of gods with a lot of deployables, a lot of spawned objects, things like that. Then we get to, kind of some AI and pet pathing, and that's pretty complicated. We had one of our top programmers working on Calder for quite a time before he got to chasing you and it feeling really good. That was tough. And then we got to Morrigan, who still people tell us we were insane for even attempting.
Yeah, just takes every god problem ever, and then now the Morrigan has that problem.
And our lead programmer has did such an amazing job with her, and we've been fixing bugs constantly. She's been playing in SPL. There was no major issues. Like we really think we did it there.
I gotta say the one thing about Calder I do like is that he gets drunk. When Bacchus intoxicates him, he actually wobbles around.
Yeah. He can be affected by all CC. It's part of his balancing.
What about you, Palm? From the QA side, which is the most complicated god so far?
Oh, geez.
Or from the community management side?
Yeah.
Oh, I actually don't know a good answer to this. I think the most complicated thing I ever had to QA wasn't even a god, but I guess it was Nuwa, in the sense that Nuwa interacts with certain abilities and certain items, specifically Talaria boots, gave me super headaches. And so you wouldn't expect it to break, because Talaria is like the deal damage, gold. Her ultimate has special exception in it. And Talaria boots changed a few times, and so making sure she worked with that was actually a nightmare.
More tricky.
But that's the kind of thing that people just don't expect is that's tricky, is oh, it should just only proc once, but actually making it only proc once properly in all situations, including all ranks and certain, it's
Any more questions? We've got any more for the Q&A this week? Yes, Sean says, how long does it usually take from god conception to finishing conception? Is that how it actually happens? To finish a product? We actually just spawn these guys in the back. AJ, how is Babby born?
I mean, birthing gods is one of the most painful parts.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm like, whoa, okay. And what's the process like?
Yeah, we've had this
birthing a god.
I mean, we get this question. We get this question a lot, and this is one usually when Fish is on the show, and we've done a god that patch.
Yeah.
Really, we start really early with a lot of brainstorming and art concepting. We get a lot of different people in the studio involved, and this is one that Hindu I know has been involved in. This is really great. So we always try to get ideas from a really diverse group of people. We'll get a really kind of rough idea of what this god will do. Then we go through the iteration of mostly prototyping. That's our first step. We want to get a rough version of the kit working. Usually we're using all temporary art assets, but just make it so we can play it. We can feel it out. We can feel what's too strong, what doesn't work, what's going to work. That's the most important part.
Yep.
We probably spend, it's hard to say exact time frames, but we can spend just, a month or so just playing the prototype version of the god.
Just see if it feels right.
Just feeling out the rough kits and making changes, making tweaks, sometimes redesigning whole abilities.
Right.
And then as we get that kind of locked in, the rest of the art starts to come in. We start to get the model and the animation usually first, then the textures, and then the effects and sound effects as we're going forward.
Awesome. Thanks for the question, Sean. The last question we've got before we have to call the patch notes today. Kevin Hart says, any chance a Hades buff rework is in the pipeline?
Yeah, do you want to talk about this one?
Yeah, I do. That's why I'm glad they asked it. So people have been asking for Hades buffs, and I want to tell everybody that they are on the way.
getting
just
buffed.
not ready yet.
He's getting buffed.
Yes, and
Or
it's
reworked.
not a major rework.
So it's just buffs.
Want to keep Hades true. Gonna make some adjustments to his numbers. Gonna look at what he's good at and what he's not good at, and kind of help him focus.
Okay.
And the strange truth is that Hades is actually quite strong, and
Right.
we've seen him show up on occasion. It's rare. He maybe has a smaller, more devoted player base, but those players are good at Hades.
Right.
And the god is strong, so he's difficult one to just outright buff.
Gotcha.
But we're really looking into a lot of different pros and cons, and there's a couple things about his kit that are just a little strange or kind of confusing. So looking into all that, and it's should be ready by next patch.
Okay. Thanks for the question, Kevin, and thank you guys for the community for asking those questions too. Please always send them into #SmitePatch. We'll try and answer them when we do have time on the Patch Note show. But that's all we've got time for this week. I'm going to go away now and make sure I can get all those quests done and work out what the hieroglyphs mean. So
I know, I want those bonus rewards, so I'm going to do all the quests.
I'm going to take some NyQuil, just go to bed.
We need Pawn to get better.
Yeah,
You've got designs to be done.
I think I held it together pretty well here.
I actually think
you did a great job.
You actually do a better
You did.
performance when you're sick than when you're actually healthy.
Oh, well, come on.
It just shows that. That's
I guess
how
I'm
it
just
looks like
chill.
a
I'm just relaxed.
See,
Like
when you're calm
Yes.
and you're not stressed anymore, that's the end of it. But
You are quite calm.
AJ, thanks for having you.
Thank
once
you.
again, Pon. Thanks for being here. Guys, thanks for tuning in as per usual, and we'll see this patch. Hang on 1 second. PTS, when is it?
I don't know. Soon, hopefully.
How soon?
either today or tomorrow.
Yeah.
Either today or tomorrow, we'll see you on the PTS, and if not, this should be available next week. From all of us here at High Studios, have a wonderful evening and be nice to each other.